the thing that this thing is kind of loading, so but I'm going to record, so right there. And now we're going to do something. So I'm going to start projecting, guys, my screen so you can take a look at it. And okay. So hold on, guys, I'm just getting ready with this. Now here we are. Here we are. So now, guys, can you see my screen? Yeah, okay. So let's get started with this, guys. What are we going to do? First of all, I want to welcome you back to another class of grammar B2. So guys, it is just a pleasure to be with you again. So we're going to be like discussing everything that is related to the two different units we have to work with today. So those are units number 24 and unit 25. And if you have taken a look at the units on your books, so in the case of unit 24, just take a look at something in here. In the case of unit 24, you have like real conditionals, present and future, and then for unit 25 we have unreal conditionals. So that means that we're going to study real and unreal conditionals. Real conditionals, present and future, and in the case of unreal conditionals, present, future, and we're going to include the past. But we're not going to check this as well the way we had in the class that we were checking every single detail from the book, but I'm going to explain by using some other words and some more examples so everything can be as clear as possible. So what are we going to do? So let me see. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going to be like explaining. I'm going to have like 4 different parts of conditionals. So we're going to check the 4 different conditionals. In the case of unit number 24, we're going to have conditionals that are 0 and 1, and in the case of unit 25, we're going to have the conditional number 2 and 3, or second and third conditional. Let me just check in here. Okay, just give me a second. Somebody's asking me for the we're going to have some right here. Someone's asking for, or is requesting for a permission. Who's this? Okay, Pablo is asking for. Okay, I'm going to keep my chat right here, and also my WhatsApp in here. So in any case you have any questions, so what are we going to do? I'm going to start like explaining everything, and then I will give you some parts for you to ask questions after every single explanation we are going to have during the development of the class. So let's start by having here conditionals. So again, units 24 and 25 are all related to what conditionals are. Now we're going to continue by asking ourselves the following question: what are conditionals? The answer that we have in here is that sometimes we call them if clauses. Yeah, because if you're going to take a look at throughout the whole class, that we're going to start checking different clauses starting by if. This is something we're going to check later on, but the most important thing is that you're going to use them to have the following: to describe the result of something that might happen either in the present or future, or might have happened but didn't in the past. So that's what I was telling you, that in the case of conditionals, we're going to have some of them to talk about the present and the future, and in some others we're going to refer to them in the past. Okay, so let's continue. As I was telling you at the beginning, we're going to check 4 different types of conditionals. We're going to have zero conditional, we're going to have first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Don't worry, Pablo. Yeah, you are on time. Okay. Well, again, zero, first, second, and third. The first 2 conditionals are the ones that you're going to find all the information in unit 24. second and third conditional, it's exactly what you will find in unit number 25. So if you read the exercises, well, if you read the information, completed the exercises, and then you have been like working with the links that I posted on the PDF file that is in the Aula Digital, and also the one that I sent you in the email, so you will find out that it's the same information that we have right here. So this is going to be like more precise information, like in brief. I'm going to explain like very in detail. And remember, guys, if you have any questions, try to ask them. And I'm going to be paying attention to the chat. And also, if you don't want to use the chat, maybe I will be paying attention to WhatsApp. And don't forget that this is going to be recorded and will be posted on my channel in YouTube, and then I'll share it in the Google Classroom we're having together. Okay? So 4 types of conditionals. Now, before accessing to the first conditional that we're going to have, 0 conditional, I wonder if you have any questions right now. Oh, what is it? Oh. Okay, so I have Jason, Brian, okay, Sarah's getting right here. Okay, guys, just remember that you have to have your microphones off. I'm going to mute this one. Okay, so far, again, maybe for the people who have just joined this conference call, welcome you. I want to welcome you back to another class that we're going to have. In this case, it's going to be virtual. And I was explaining the class. Who has the microphone? I guess someone has a microphone. Okay. So please, guys, remember that if you, just to be in the classroom, so we're going to have your microphones off. So, and then I will give you some time. I will give you some time for you to have it on in any case you want to ask something. Okay. First of all, as I was telling you, we're going to check conditionals. We're going to check conditionals, and what we're going to do is that in the case of units 24 and 25, we're going to have 4 different types of conditionals. We're going to have 0 and first conditional for unit number 4, and second and third conditional for unit 25. Okay, I guess with this we're all clear, and now we're going to move on to the first conditional we're going to have. That is going to be the 0 conditional. Now, what is the 0 conditional about? So first of all, we're going to take a look at the structure of the 0 conditional, the 0 conditional, and then we're going to move on to all of the examples and explanation in detail. Okay, so in the case of 0 conditional, we can make a 0 conditional sentence with 2 simple present verbs. So that means one of the verbs is going to be in the if clause, and the other one will be in the main clause, and the structure is going to be the one presenting on your screen. So it's going to be if, and then use it a simple present or present simple, and then the other clause. Remember, guys, that as I told you in a class, a clause is going to be the same as a sentence. So it's going to be, in the case of the first sentence, we're going to have the simple present, and the second sentence will have the same simple present form. Basically, that's going to be the structure. Grammatical structure, present and present. Now, let's move on with the first example. It says, if you don't put sunscreen on, you get burned. If you get a virus, call the IT specialist. In this case, IT is the information technology specialist. So that means a person that is whose work is like checking computers. Okay, so if you don't put sunscreen on, you get burned. So if you take a look at the structure we're going to have, first of all, I'm going to show you this example for you to check the structure. If you don't put sunscreen on, okay, give me a second. Hold on. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. If you take a look at in the first clause, in the if clause, we're going to have the simple present form. If you don't put sunscreen on, and the second clause, that's going to be the main clause, we're going to have the same sentence in the simple present form. Get burned. Okay, if you don't put on sunscreen, or if you don't put sunscreen on, you get burned. Okay, and now in the case of the second one, we're going to check the same thing. If you get a virus, simple present, and then here we can have another form, not only the simple present form, but also an imperative. So in this case, we're going to have an infinitive form called the IT special. So basically, if you take a look at the structure, we're going to have the same simple present, simple present. Now let's keep on with the information how to use this. Zero conditional is used when the result will always happen. So if you go to the beach, in the case of the previous example, the first one, if you go to the beach and you don't put sunscreen on, so you always get burned. So that is something that you cannot change. So that's what we say, that this is a fact. In general, we're talking about something that is general, and not about one particular situation, because it is only one particular situation. That is not something that is going to happen like in a general way. Okay, so and that is why we use this conditional to refer to scientific facts, scientific laws, general facts, and so on. And here we have some more examples. If you get you get orange if you mix red and yellow. You get orange if you mix red and yellow. So here you have the condition. If you do this activity, what is activity? If you mix these two different colors, red and yellow, what is going to be the result? The result is going to be all the time the same, that you're going to get the orange color. So that's why we say that you get orange if you mix red and yellow. So you cannot get brown, you cannot get purple. But if you do something else, maybe some other colors. For example, if you mix yellow and green, and if you mix yellow and blue, so you get green. So that is going to be something that is a fact. You can have a different color. The second one is going to be the same. If I eat peanuts, I get ill. So that is something that is a fact for him. So that is something that is going to happen to him all the time. So that's why in the zero conditional we're going to use, if I eat, if you see, simple present, I get ill, simple present, because the result is going to be all the time the same. So that's going to be the first use we're going to have, guys, in the case of the zero conditional. Don't forget about this, that you're going to get all the time the same situation, because you're going to have scientific facts, scientific laws, and general facts. And in the case of the if clause, we're going to have the simple present form, and the result in the main clause is going to be as well in the simple present form. Okay, let's see. Now, based on this, do you have any questions? Maybe I'm going to move on to the chat. Someone who might ask a question, or maybe someone who might want to turn on the microphone to ask the question. So or if it is clear, maybe we can move on to the following slide. Not now, teacher. Okay, thank you, Lisel. Not now, perfect. One more. Okay. Let's move on. That was in the case with the zero conditional. Remember, zero conditional, we use it every time that we're talking about general facts, scientific laws, and so on. Something that won't change if we have the condition. Okay, let's see. All clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to the first conditional. In the case of the first conditional, we're going to have the following structure. The first conditional has the simple present after if. Remember that if is going to be all the time the if clause. We're going to have in the if clause the simple present form, and then in the other clause, the resulting clause or the main clause is going to be in the simple future. Basically, it's going to be the same information we're going to have right here. If, and then the present simple or simple present, and the result is going to be in the future by using will, and later on we'll see that maybe we can have some more ways that we can use that result, or we can refer to that result. Now, first conditional. Let's basically again take a look at the information we're going to have right here so we can check that the structure applies right here. If you don't put on repellent, you'll get beaten. So if you see if, so here we have the if clause. If you don't put on repellent, that means that kind of substance that we add on the body so we don't have any mosquitoes or any other insects on our skin, you'll get beaten. You'll get beaten. So if you don't put on repellent, you'll get beaten. So if you see again, so here we have the simple present form in the if clause, and what is going to be the result? The result is going to have the structure in the future. You'll get beaten. Okay? Now, the second example, if you study hard, you'll get good grades. If you study, so that means in the present, if you do this action in the present, if you study hard, you'll get good grades. That means the result again refers to the future. If you see, here we have both structures as we had in the previous slide. Simple present in the if clause, and in the result clause we will have the future simple form. Okay? So now, so we can take a look at the use. The first conditional is used to talk about things that might happen in the future. Again, that might happen in the future. This is not something that we're going to say, no, this is going to be 100% that might happen in the future, or that will happen in the future. No, because it is just something we're thinking about, so we say that this might happen in the future. Or, of course, we can know what will happen in the future, so that's something that it is impossible. Maybe we can predict, we can even plan, but it's to know exactly what is going to happen in the future, yeah, it is impossible. So that's why we're going to use it every time that we want to talk about the things that might happen in the future. And it says, but these describe possible things which could easily come true. What are some examples? Let's take a look at that right here. If the weather is fine tomorrow, we will go cycling. So that is something that you are expecting. So if the condition is right now, if the weather is fine tomorrow, so you're kind of talking about something that might happen. If the weather is fine tomorrow, we will go cycling. If your sister will go mad if you touch her things. So that means that if you do this activity in the present, it is going to be more likely that your sister will go mad or will get mad. She's going to be upset. She's going to get angry. So don't do it, because you don't want this result to happen in the future. Okay? So this is going to be, again, the first condition. First condition, we're talking about some activities referring in the present with a possible result in the future. Okay? And as I was telling you, I already know that, well, that there are some words in Spanish right here, but let's focus first of all on the ones that we're going to have in English. So in the case of first conditional, as I told you, we can have simple present in the future form, but here we can have in the future form, or in the main clause, not only the use of will, but we can have some other uses. Take a look at the first one. If the weather is nice on Sunday, we'll go on a picnic. If the weather is nice on Sunday, we'll go on a picnic. Okay, so here we're using the same structure that we had the first slide of first conditional. Simple future form using will. But we can also use the following structures: going to, can, might, should, and must. Okay? The example of going to. If I don't have to go to work tomorrow, I'm going to visit my parents. If I don't have to go to work tomorrow, I'm going to visit my parents. So that means I'm going to visit. That's going to be a result if I don't have to work tomorrow. Okay? Can. If the meeting finishes early, we can go for a drink. if the meeting finishes early, we can go for a drink. Using can for a future plan, okay, here. So, might, if I have time this afternoon, I might wash my car. That might be the result if you have this condition. If I have time this afternoon. Should, if they invite you, you should go. And the last one, if you have any problems, you must call me. Okay, and right now I can say one condition. If you have any questions, you can ask me right now. Any questions so far, everyone? Clear like horchata, but I guess it was clear in the case of the zero conditional. But let's take a look at the other guys about the first condition. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Okay, no questions. Good, well, everyone. So, no. Okay. Okay, now let's continue with the following conditional. Second, just to review the information that we have just discussed. First condition, well, zero conditional refers to general facts. If you do the condition, it is 100% that the other one will happen immediately. Simple present, simple present. First conditional refers to some activity that might happen in the future as a result of some other activity that you have performed. The structure, simple present, and most of the time we're going to have a future simple form. By using will, but we can also use can, might, may, should, must, and so on. Okay? Now we're going to move on to the second conditional. So in the case of the two previous conditions, guys, it's basically what you have. Well, it's basically the information you have in Unit 24. So if you see the information in Unit 24, it's so well developed. Let's say, or there are a lot of details, many different uses. But here I'm just doing everything in brief, so you can better understand this, so there are no questions, no doubts, and we can practice with the exercises that you have been given. Alright, as well, I will continue working this weekend to add some exercises on the Google Classroom. You can continue practicing with this, and at the end, no questions or no doubts are in your mind. Okay, so let's move on again, as I told you, to the second conditional. Second conditional. Now, second conditional uses simple present after the if, and then would and the infinitive form. The structure is going to be if plus the simple past or past simple, and then we are going to have would plus the infinitive. And something important to mention, guys, that in the case of if, every time that we use if, whenever we want to use the verb to be in the past, we're not going to use was, but instead, because we're talking about a condition, it's preferable to use were for all of the different personal pronouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. For all of them, we're going to use I were, you were, he were, she were, it were, we were, and they were, because we're referring to a condition. We're going to check some more examples in the following slide. Now, the second conditional. Check the example so we can take a look at the structure that we had right here. If I'd ask, if I had money, I would travel more. If I had money, I would travel more. Okay, if I had money, I would travel more. Okay, so here if you check the structure, so in the if clause, we are using, oh, okay, in the if clause, we are using the simple past. If I had money, if I had money, okay, and then we continue with the result. What is going to be the result? I would travel more. I would travel more. So if you see, we have would and then the infinitive form, would travel. Remember, guys, that it has to be like that, would travel. Every time that we have modals, like in the case of would, we're going to have travel as an infinitive form without the to, or we call them grammatically bare infinitive. Bare infinitive, because we don't have to use to. I cannot say I would to travel. Well, that's impossible. I would to travel, no. Okay? Now, in the case of the second example, if I asked Susan out, would she accept? So here we have a question. If I asked, so that means right there we had a simple past form. If I asked Susan out, would she accept? The structure we're going to have right there, it's pretty much the same as I told you before. Sorry. If I asked, simple past, and then would accept. Would accept. Okay. Now let's continue with the uses. First of all, we have to get this clear that second conditional has, oh well, there's a spelling mistake, has two uses. It has to be has. Okay, has two different uses. First, it is used. Okay, yeah, there is a spelling mistake right here. It is used. I'm going to check this before uploading it on the Google Classroom. It is used to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. Maybe I'm imagining some dream, for example. So in the case of the first one, you're just talking about some activities that might happen in the future. Yeah, but they probably might not be true. The first example, if I became president, I would change many things. You're talking about something that maybe probably not going to be true. Can you be the president? Maybe in the future, but oh yeah, probably not going to be true. Probably. That's what we have, the word probably. So if I became president, I would change many things. And if I saw Madonna, I would scream. Well, not me, but that is the example. But if I saw Madonna, so but that is just the condition, and you're just imagining. If I became the president, am I the president? No. But if I became the president, I would change many things. So that is something that you are thinking that might happen in the future. Probably. If I became the president, I would change many things. In the case if I saw Madonna, I would scream. Well, as I'm telling you, maybe if it is Madonna, no. Well, maybe someone else. I'm going to leave it to your imagination. Okay, but if I saw, so if I had the opportunity in the future of seeing Madonna, if I saw her, I would scream. That is the example we have over there. Okay. Now that is going to be the first use. Remember the first use to refer to probable things, or probably activities in the future that probably are not going to happen in the future. Okay. Now in the case of the second use, we can use it to talk about something in the present which is impossible because it's not true. Something in the present which is impossible because it's not true. If let's go with the first example. If I have more time, I would take up a sport. If I have more time. But let's be sincere and take a look at a picture. Does he have any time? I don't think so. Take a look. He's full of pages on his desk. He has a lot of things to do. Well, he doesn't have any time. So that's why he says, if I have more time, I would take up a sport. And the second example, if you spoke up, I'd hear you. So right there we had a contraction of I would, I would hear you. If you spoke up, I cannot listen to you right now. But if you right now spoke up, I would hear you. I'd hear you. Okay. So it would be the same as telling you. So if we weren't in quarantine right now, we would be in class, live class, face to face, but not here. That is something which is impossible. Yeah, I know. Okay, because it's not true. We cannot be in the class right now, but we're just taking this virtual conference right here, virtual class. So, but that is going to be the example. So if we were in class, we would see each other. We cannot see each other right now, but if we were in class, we would see each other. Okay. In the last form, we're going to have the following. So finally, we can also use it to give a piece of advice. We use the expression "if I were you." If I were you. If I were you, I'd say yes. There's a comma. There's a comma missing right here. I guess I ate it. I just made a mistake right there. And in the case of the second one, if I were you, comma, so I wouldn't invite her. If I were you. So you're just giving pieces of advice. It would be like, guys, if I were you, I wouldn't go out for this quarantine. The police is going to take you, I don't know where. Or if I were you, I would do some exercise. Yeah, because if you continue eating and not doing any activities that requires any physical movement, so you're going to get some extra weight in this quarantine. Okay, if I were you, I would ask questions if I had them. If I were you, I would ask questions. And well, no, that's no. I guess that was something. Now, do you have any questions right now? So the previous slide, guys, was just a copy of the previous one on the first conditional, so there's nothing else to say about it. So, but right now, any questions that you may ask? No questions? Perfect, David? No? Okay. 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 So, let's move on to the last part. Third conditional. Going back. Zero conditional, we talk about those general facts that we have, so that we are 100% sure that might happen will happen, if we do an action. First conditional, we refer to those activities that might happen in the future if we do it. Second conditional refers to those activities that are not real right now. That's why in the book you're going to have in unit number 25 unreal, because they are not real. We're just imagining what will happen in the future. What will happen in the future if I did that? So in the case of the third conditional, we're going to have the following information. We made the third conditional by using the past perfect after if. Remember, after the if clause, we're going to have the past perfect, and then would have in the past participle in the second part of the sentence. So that means we're going to have if plus the past perfect, and then in the result clause is going to be like would have in the past participle form. Examples, so we can understand the structure. If you had put is, the cake will have risen. If you have put is, the cake will have risen. So is that substance or that type of flour that you add to the dough so it can rise. But the problem of the woman is that she didn't do that action. That's why it didn't rise. So that's why she says, if you had put if you had put, so had put, so here we had the past perfect form, and then would have, and then the past participle, reason. Second one, if I had asked you, would you have helped me? If I had asked you, would you have helped me? So if I had, so in here we are going to have the past perfect form, had asked, and then we're going to continue with the result, would you have helped? Would have in the past participle form of the verb help. Okay, that's the structure. Now we're going to take a look at the use. In the case of the use, the third conditional talks about the past. It's used to describe a situation that didn't happen and to imagine the result of this situation. Situation that happened or didn't happen in the past, so we can say like that, and the result, imagining the result in the past. First example, if I had had famous parents, I would have had an amazing life. I guess someone turned on the microphone. Okay, if I had had famous parents, I would have had an amazing life. So you were talking about something that didn't happen. If I had had in the past famous parents, but my question, did he have famous parents? No. So that's why he's thinking about this activity that didn't happen in the past. If I had had famous parents, the result in the past is that I would have had an amazing life. In the second example, if you had helped me, I wouldn't have failed the exam. If you had helped me, I wouldn't have failed the exam. If you had helped me, so that means that in the past, this is something that the person didn't do. So if you can see in the picture, the person is asking for help, but the man in green says no by using his finger. So he didn't help him. So that's why he says, if you had helped me, so that means you didn't do it, I wouldn't have failed. But what happened to him? He failed. Why? Because the person didn't want to help him. So that's why if he, let's say, if he had helped him, he wouldn't have failed the exam. So that's why we're talking about activities that didn't happen in the past, or maybe happened in the past, and then we're imagining a different situation in the past. Okay? So that's going to be the first case. The second case is that it is also used to express a regret for something that didn't happen in the past, as I was telling you. The first example, if I worked harder, I'd have gotten a promotion. If I'd worked harder, I'd have gotten a promotion. But now my question for you, the person says if I had worked harder, did he work harder? No, he was just spending his time, he was just, not spending, he was wasting his time, he was just like maybe doing something else, he was not paying attention on what he had to do at work. So that's why he says, well, I didn't work hard, so but if I had worked harder, I had gotten the promotion, or a promotion. But did he get a promotion? No. Why not? Because he didn't work harder. But if he had worked harder, he would have gotten the promotion. He would have gotten that promotion. And the second example, if I had been careful, I wouldn't have cut myself. If I had been careful, I would have cut myself. But what happened to her? She didn't know that that knife was sharp enough for her to be cut, and she was just getting the seed out of that avocado, and she wasn't careful. So that's why now she says that if I had been careful, because she wasn't careful, and what happened to her at the end, that she cut herself. That's why she says, if I hadn't been careful, I wouldn't have cut myself. Talking about a regret in the past. Okay? So I guess if somebody was telling me, teacher, if we had taken the exam in paper but not in digital, I would have gotten a better grade. Okay, so that's something true, yeah. I guess somebody else was telling me as a teacher, if I had understood the information clearer, so I would have gotten a better result in my paper. Okay, something like that. So regrets in the past. And well, that was the last one. Oh, okay. So now that was the last part of the third conditional. Now do you have any question with this? That was the last slide, guys, with information. So any questions that you may have? Okay, yeah, it's easy. Okay, yeah, I know that sometimes this just, well, it is not sometimes. Oh, well, this requires practice, guys. The thing that maybe we can take a look at the structures, we can say, well, it is not that complicated. Yeah, I can manage it very well. I can handle it. But it requires practice. Can we use negative sentence in if clause if I hadn't done? Oh, yeah. Let me just get into this so we can have it. So here we have a student that is asking for negative sentences, and for sure. Let me just get into this. Yeah, it is getting kind of slow. Okay, it's just loading. Oh god, what's going on here? Okay, I'm going to erase this. Okay, if I having a negative sentence in the if clause, we might have something. So first of all, you were going to okay, so okay, we can say if by having if. Okay, this is kind of slow. If she hadn't eaten so much, okay, I guess there's a problem with my this kind of okay. If she hadn't eaten so much, she, what's the problem with this? Okay, she wouldn't have gotten sick. So if you see what we have in here, so this is a sentence in the third condition. We're talking about some regrets as well. So if she hadn't eaten, so we're going to have the past perfect form, hadn't eaten so much, she wouldn't have gotten. So here we're going to have the same would have. If it is in the negative form, the not is going to be right after the auxiliary. So in this case hadn't, and then wouldn't. So in this case the modal wouldn't have gotten sick. We can have another example. If in movies, okay, if the movie theater hadn't closed early, he would have seen the movie. So if you see here, so again we have another one. If the movie theater hadn't closed early, so he would have seen the movie. So here we have sentence in the negative form by having the clause in the negative form, and the result might be either in the positive depending on what you want to refer to. So but here this is going to be by having the negative form. If I hadn't the movie theater hadn't closed early, he would have seen the movie, or if she hadn't eaten so much, she would have gotten sick. So it's going to be like that. So I wonder if it is if it is clear. Okay. Another questions, everyone? Any other questions? Ah, yeah, it wasn't projected. So those are the sentences, guys. As I was telling you, I don't know who. Oh, that's something else. Okay, if the movie theater, as I was telling you, the movie theater hadn't closed early, he would have seen the movie. And if she hadn't eaten so much, she wouldn't have gotten sick. Okay, as I was telling you, so basically, that's the information. I wonder if there are some more questions that you may have about this. Gustavo says no. Okay. No more than that. Oh. Okay. So if there are no questions, guys, well, I will continue working with some more exercises to be uploaded on the Google Classroom, so you can continue practicing with this. So please, if you take a look at the information that is in the PDF file, so right there is posted a link for you to access to the answers of the book for the different exercises. So just please complete them and try to continue working. I know that it is not the same like having a teacher in front of you explaining the classes the way we did at the university, but that's why we're having this conference, so we can clarify any doubts, any questions. And again, so all of the information is going to be, well, this information, this PowerPoint presentation will be posted on the Google Classroom, so you can download it and study it. And as well, I'm going to upload this YouTube, this video to YouTube, because I'm recording everything. All the conference is being recorded, so I'm going to upload it on YouTube, so you can practice and you can check it. And for the guys who haven't been able to stay here, so they can check the information right here. Let's see what else. Well, I guess pretty much this is the information. Let's see. Well, I guess this is it. I don't know, guys, if you have anything else to say before finishing this call. We have been together like for 50 minutes right here. So, well, it has been pretty nice communicating with you, getting in touch with you. And again, well, I wish I were. That's something. I wish I were in a classroom with all of you, yeah. But we have to take into account different recommendations that were given, so we cannot get this virus. We have to protect ourselves and our families, and just continue doing it. Well, if not, yeah, I know that. Well, there were like kind of something that I need to take a look at right here. Some things that I need to correct, but everything, yeah, is going to be posted again, and just I guess pretty much this is going to be it, guys. And again, keep calm and stay home. I know that again we're going into a difficult situation, but the only thing that we have to do, guys, is to remain in our houses, just leaving if it is only necessary, and protecting our family. I hear students say that, teacher, but I don't worry about this because nothing's going to happen to me. But remember, you have to protect your family. There might be like older people, maybe your grandparents, maybe the children who are with you, and so on. Okay. And maybe just to finish with, all of the grades are being posted, guys, on the portal, so you can now check them. Remember that we're going to continue working during these 3 more weeks. Well, I would say 2 more weeks. Remember, guys, that we're going to have classes on this coming Friday. The next Friday, no classes because we're going to have the vacation. Then we're going to have classes on the following Friday, and then we're going to have the following Friday off, I guess so, because it's going to be like May 1st or something like that. Well, on May 1st we're not going to have any classes, but this is it. So well, this is everything I had prepared, guys, for you. Just keep on working, keep on doing your best, and that's it. It was so nice being with you in this 1 hour class. Yeah, you're welcome, Alejandra. Yeah, basically, yeah, this is something I wanted to do so I can be as close as possible with you, so I can maybe clarify any of your doubts. I know that information on the book is like a lot, but anyway, with this piece of information that I'm going to upload, I hope you can practice even more, and everything can be as clear as possible. Okay, so guys, thank you for sharing your time with me this afternoon, for being here in this virtual class. So thank you. Maybe I'm going to thank all of you. Let's see. Thank you to Alejandra Rodriguez, to Alejandra Urbina as well, Beatriz, to David, thanks to Jason, to Carla Christine, yeah. Thank you to Oscar, Gustavo, yeah, Gustavo. Thank you to Pablo, and thanks a lot to Omar, who has been right there. Okay, no, and thank you, yeah, because we're here in order to help you, and again, I know that it's not the same as being like face to face, but at least there's something that we can do right here. Okay, yeah, thank you again to all of you guys. See you next time. Okay, thank you Omar, for listening to us as well. Thank you for being part of this class. Thank you, Alejandra. So yeah, just we're going to continue like in touch in the Google Classroom, so we're going to be right there. There are some activities that I haven't checked here, but I'm going to do it during the weekend, so this is it. And please, guys, make sure that you practice. Now remember that this is not time for you to take vacation. No, it is going to be for you to have some more time for you to practice, for you to take a look at what you can do, to watch some videos, start doing and practicing with all of the files and links that I posted on the PDF file that I sent you, and just keep on doing your best. Okay. So again, this is everything from me. Thank you again for being here. So I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, guys. Santo lado. ¿Qué onda pues?
Ahí te mandé un audio para que te vaya.
Va, espérate, pues lo voy a escuchar, estate acá. Por vida, me agarra esta cosa. Espérate, lo voy a escuchar y te marco porque me trabó esta cosa.
¿Se te trabó o qué?
No, pero mejor espérame acá de todos modos.
Tenés gratis, pa.
¿Ah?
Tenés gratis,
Sí,
te espero ahí.
sí, no hay problema. Es que lo que pasa es que vas a creer que la tontera esta, y ese creo que es el relajo que tengo acá,
Ujú.
que como el Hangouts no me lo abre el Chrome, sino que lo tengo que abrir desde Explorer.
Ajá.
Entonces tengo abierto el Chrome, tengo abierto el Explorer, tengo abierto el PowerPoint, tenía abierto el grabador del OBS Studio, algo así. Por vida. Espérate que.
Que deberías de grabar con otro. El OBS es muy complicado.
¿Con qué?
El OBS cuesta lo grabar.
No, pero si con ese he intentado, digamos, en las anteriores y me ha salido cabal bien original, fíjate.
Porque yo grabo con uno que se llama Debut
Ajá,
Video Capture y bien tranquilo.
en serio.
Y la interfaz es más sencilla.
Ah,
Es que eso, yo intenté ese OBS porque a través de ese puede
transmitir.
en YouTube,
Ajá.
pero sí cuesta arreglar y todo. Así que no, más tranquilo, lo grabo con otro.
Debut de Silva.
Ajá,
Ah, creo que sí lo mencionó aquel pelado de Nelson, va.
sí, lo mencionó aquel día.
Sí, pero contarle que mira que no le. Espérate. No me sale para darle play. Ahí está. Vamos a ver.
Mira, Beben, lo que te recomendaría es que
Oye.
darles a ellos chance para que hagan mejoraciones,
Ajá.
porque si no es solo como un video que está grabando, lo subís y no hay interacción. Eso es lo único que yo diría. Vaya, por ejemplo, estudiaste la primera parte de Zero Conditional, vaya, eso de Zero Conditional, va. Ahora, quiero ver sus ejemplos en el chat, al menos un ejemplo cada uno,
Ajá.
o que abran micrófono, hijo. Yo con los de inglés así estoy haciendo. Ahí estoy yo con todos ellos, vaya. Y como explico la parte gramatical por lo de los gerunds que hubo, ¿va?
Ajá.
Entonces explico uno, vaya, hoy necesito un ejemplo de cada uno de ustedes. Abre su micrófono, uno por uno. Y como vos los tenés en lista, ¿va?
Ajá. Va, hoy sí, te escuché.